Okie dokus. I'm not even going to publish the previous one because I'm locked in. This is my favorite part. Once I've learned an idea and I'm trying to implement it, I can imagine this is probably what it'll be like once I know a bunch of shit and I start applying it to real projects that I'm interested in. So here we go. So we'll do... God, once I have a physical box next to me and I can do something and then test it and then it actually emits, oh god, that's gonna be fucking a new world. Man. Okie doke. It's much more fun when I can actually control something and make something do something. Not more than me just doing something physically and making something to make it do something by not touching it is so much cooler than making something just to demonstrate some property of the world. Like all the physics experiments we used to have to do in Cal-Based Physics 1 and 2. Bro, these are so boring. What did we even do? Some sort of shit so we could measure the amperes properly and create some sort of voltage. Bro, I don't care. What? Let me control this remotely. Now we're talking. That's cool. Alright. And it's probably particularly because it relates to games. So, we'll do emit sent. It's the for declaration. What is emit sent actually doing? We'll say, isn't scented area. Well, this only calls once we enter a scented area. So instead, we're going to do... This guy's going to need string. Okay, so string already has its own header guard, so it's okay. So, because this won't have been included here, but we do already need string, so I can pass it a string. Oh, it doesn't actually need string. It just needs string view. No, it does need string. Oh, excuse me, I can check for C-style literals, so I don't have to store it. I can just make a string. So instead, we can actually just do include string view. I didn't need to backspace that, but it's okay. So now we just view. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Instead, we're going to do standard string, and we're going to call it scented area name. And we're going to call it cave, bro. Cave. Do I want it to be backspace? No. Or caps? Yes. Oh, excuse me. We'll pass it this standard string. And it will take a string view, and it will be called scented area name. It's fine, same name. And again, string view. Oops, what the fuck? Scented area name. Cool. If scented area name is cave, we'll do emit cave sent. Else if scented area name is X, emit X sent. Okay. Or we'll just say other location. Well, it doesn't have to be a location, maybe. Okay. And we'll have emit sent, and then we'll have the specific sent. So we'll have void emit cave sent. Or, actually, we could just say, so this is emit sent. Yeah, and then this would just be the logic. It's not going to be some other logic that says specifically cave sent. This is going to do the cave sent. So right here, we would talk to the thing, the box, and say, yo, this volume, this much, this often. And so we'll say do, and then I'm just going to output sent. This will be fine. Yeah, this is close enough. So we'll say do This already has, it just needs input and output, so we can imitate the emission of the scent. Cave scent emitted. What is happening here? Hold on. Oh yeah. We got to include our user-defined library, or header file rather. Oh, oops, it's user-defined, bruh. And then the namespace is probably like scent emission, or emit. What is it called? Scent emission. Yeah, it is. Okay, and we have a func because of an else maybe. It's an emit scent CPP. Line 13 is an issue. Why? Oh, because these are multiple lines here. So we need a block. I think that's what's going on. No? Oh yeah, duh, we don't have the while to finish it. Okay, yeah, cool. Oh yeah, duh, we need a condition. What am I doing? While true. Fuck. Oh yeah, we need to end the while statement. Cool, okay. So instead it'll be while so when does it terminate? We'll do this and then we'll just say enter elapsed or leave area. And then we'll just say that. And then we'll do scent emission emit scent. Oh, so we'll actually what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say bool. Oops, this needs to be before is entering scent area. And we'll just do same thing. We're just gonna say enter area is entering scent area. Cool. And then we'll pass it is entering scent area. Basically, where and are we entering or leaving? And then here is entering. And then we'll pass it again. Scented area name is entering. Cool. Oops. But now we're gonna have a mismatch because the arguments are wonk, which is good. That works. Cool. And then we'll say bool is entering scented area. It's fine. I'll keep the same name. It's not a biggie. Bool that. Cool. We're not using it right now. What's the issue here? Line 11 on emit scent CPP. Line 11? Oh yeah, because we don't have a condition here. So if I set it to be true, it'd be fine. No, it wouldn't. Oh, because we're not referencing this guy yet. Okay, cool. So we'll say while is entering scented area. Ooh, but if we say the do part, then upon leaving, it's going to do this first. So maybe this would actually be a case of a while loop. Where we call this to start it versus call it to end it. Or this is already listening. So what would we do? Would we do one function or would we have two? We'd have one to start a mission and then one to stop a mission. And start a mission would simply be a while loop. Or do we just have one function like this right now? Yeah, maybe that's what we'd have to do. Call the function once. Oh yeah, if we call it, this would never execute, right? If this is infinite. Because, well, in reality, it would be happening in the background. It wouldn't prevent other shit from happening. This might actually be a better case for a while loop. There's an attribute about the character, and something is listening. And when it's true, this thing will be happening. If it's not true, it will not be happening. Or when we do it, we call this guy, and we say start, and it will continue happening, and then we call him again, and stop. Flip flop in Unreal at least. I think this is actually better for a while loop. Before, the do while loop was better because we would click and we want to do it. So every time we want to call that firing, we want it to fire. But here, if we want to call this, we don't want it to. And if we had this split up into two functions, one to start a mission, one to stop a mission, why would we want to do while for the start instead of just a while? We would just start it, and then when we call stop, it changes a parameter for the start maybe, then ends it. Excuse me. Yeah, like maybe it changes a global variable probably from player location, changes the global variable from cave to somewhere else, to wherever's outside of the cave, or from is in cave to is not in cave, or from in cave to true to be in cave false. So instead, if we just say while is, let's see. Emit cave sent. And this would be happening in the background. And the point is that this function would be called once, would be executing infinitely in the background with a loop. So it's not every tick. It is once every 5 seconds this loop executes. It does it, waits 5 seconds, checks, does it, waits 5 seconds. And so it would be emitting cave sent, delay. So we could have basically, and this controls the hardware to emit the sent. These fucking allergies, man. And then we have wait. We'll have. Do we do one variable and then I guess we'd want the variable to be in the smallest scope possible? Do we just do 5? I don't want to create the variable every time, so we'll just say I don't want to keep reassigning it either. So like we could just have some const expression variables somewhere, or we just pass it 5. Because every time this while loop executes, we'd be destroying and then creating it again. So we would finish the execution and then while and then create a variable and then do it over and over instead of just passing it the same shit. So how do we do that? Well, we create it once before so it doesn't get. So we'd create it here. Oh, this could work. Yeah. So we'll have int sent delay, and we'll just say 5 seconds, whatever it is. Actually, we don't even know what time or how long it would be. Oh, this would be a float or a double, either way. Probably a float, we'll just say, just for memory. Okay. Unless double turns out to be better. Well, it's defaulting to double, so we'll probably say double. And then we'll say sent delay is 5 now. We don't have anything happening here. We could put a null statement to make the compiler happy for a sec, but it doesn't matter. Sent delay is 5, and then we'll say delay, sent delay. Cool. Returns from void, void function returns after 5 seconds. Sent delay, or after waiting sent delay seconds. Sent delay number of seconds. Oh. Boom. Okay. Is that it? And this will be a fed up version because we can't actually do a delay right now. And I can't actually emit any sent. So instead, we'll say, and we have input and output here. Cave sent emitted. Oops. So cave sent has been emitted, and then 5 seconds pass. Bro? Oh, because standard, just like a while loop, we need a block here, because otherwise it's one statement. And then we'll say while that. Oh, wait, yeah, because this is just a while loop. So we'll say that and that. I think that's it. Because before this needed to be semicolon for at least a null statement. There needed to be some statement there, otherwise the while isn't executing anything. Cool. So we'll say the player. Excuse me. I don't remember if this needs to be the case. I think I just pass it once and then later I can change it back. So we'll just leave it to bool alpha for now. That way it can take true and false. So we have the name of the location, and this could be in some namespace somewhere else, hidden, wherever. And we say here in the actual game happening, enter, and then we can pull whatever the location is, get current location, get the name, whatever, and then we can pass that to the sent emit. We are entering an area, so we'll just say, yes, player enters the area, and then it will, technically this is going to happen infinitely right now, so it's going to 1, or we could say, yes, oh wait, hold on, what's happening here? Oh, true, whoops, true, there we go. It doesn't take 0 and 1 because we bool alpha'd it. So it emitted, 5 seconds pass, and it is continuing to emit, or maybe it ended. True. Okay, and it continues executing. But this would be executing in the background. Executing in background until player leaves area. Update whether leaving and update that player is leaving area, scented area. Call function to stop emitting scent. Oh, or yeah, emitting scent. Call to stop emitting scent. And here it would be it's cave. And it wouldn't. So first, this is happening infinitely. But then the function gets called again. I'm not sure how that would work. Like if we're calling a function and then we call it again and it doesn't happen, does the one before still execute? I don't know. So we could say, I'm not sure how that would work. If it would be executing the whole time and we would call the same instance, or if the thing would be like, I'm thinking in a character blueprint in Unreal, excuse me, we could say on every tick, check this. And then depending on what variables currently end up being, these values are, execute or don't. So it's always running this code in the background. So we could technically say that this is always running in the background. And all we're doing is updating whether we're in a scented area now. We could say is in scented area. Damn. Cool. Oops. We're in a scented area. So now we're saying that it's not true. We're no longer in a scented area. And then we call that function again. So it'd be like, I want it to be, I guess, every 5 seconds checking maybe, or I'm not sure. Because I want to enter and start, but then when I exit, I want to stop. It seems like I would constantly have this thing ticking in the background. Constantly ticking. Should we play scent? Should we play scent? Should we play scent? Or is in area or something like this, checking the area. And then the second we are, yes, execute, continue. But the second we leave, stop. Check. We enter scented area, execute. We stop, or we leave, stop. And still check. So it's checking, doing it, stop, checking, stop, checking, like that. But in this case, because it's all part of the same line, we can't have this go in the background and then call it again later. So the only thing we could do would be like, we'd have to have it in the background going, and then we would simply, so like background process, this like a service and a behavior tree or something. So in the background, loop always running send emission, emit send. Or something like this that would check the location to see if we should be emitting a send. So really it would be like running should emit send. And if yes, emit send. Otherwise, no. That way it's only evaluating one little Boolean and it's not very intensive. So we're always checking that. And then at some point, we enter the area and we change this value. And then at some point, we leave the area. In this background process, background should emit sent becomes true and triggers emit sent. Nope. There we go. Background should emit sent becomes false and stops emitting, stops triggering emit sent. Okay, so this turned out to be a better example of a while loop than a do while, but the gun example I think was pretty good. Deleted. Cool. Let's see. Uh-oh. Chill out, buddy. There we go. Cool. Okay. We're good. So the do while statement basically, whenever we want something to loop, maybe something that we might want to loop, to at least execute one time, just like shooting a gun. When we click, we want to at least shoot the gun one time. We don't want to set something to be is shooting gun for a while loop to then execute, but then set it to then stop shooting gun so that it stops. It's just weird. How about we just say do shoot gun, and then while is still holding mouse 1, continue shooting the gun. And then once we stop, the whole thing stops looping. Done. We would need that loop though to check still is shooting gun, and it is. So that variable would need to be accessible somewhere else. So we'd have like a global variable that's accessible to this function, and then the function is constantly checking is holding mouse 1 plus is holding automatic weapon. If it is, shoot, 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 shoot. But the second that global variable changes, stop. No more. I think that works. Do while loops are in the bucket. What's another case? Let me think if I can find another. Excuse me. Maybe there's like an animation that I want to continue play. Oh, you can have it be two ways. You could just have it toggleable. But let's say there's like something in a game that I want to have. Oh, like I don't know. Like there's a guy in a game, 2D little game, and I want to hop on my pogo stick. And if I press space, I want him to hop once. But if I hold it, I want him to keep hopping. So instead of it being this while loop is executing, and it's saying while holding pogo stick, and it's false because I'm not holding it and he's not executing, instead of setting it to be true so that it can execute and then setting it to be false when I let go, how about we just say press, it does it, and if I'm still holding it, it continues doing it. And then when I stop, it stops doing it. And then when I press, it starts doing it immediately without having to check anything. It just does it. Do while, continue hopping, stop, because while is now false. Cool. Another one. Maybe like AI pathfinding. Like maybe move forward as a function, and it's a little slithery snake, and he slithers forward. Or like I like a slug for some reason, and he moves forward. He attempts to move forward 1 meter. So whenever he looks into a certain direction, and maybe we do like perception check, and he checks to see if he has space to move 1 meter in front of him, and he will do move 1 meter in front of him, and then while there's still space in front of him, so he'll call another perception check, he will move forward again, and move forward again, and move forward again. And then when he bumps the wall, he will stop moving. And then maybe there's a little rotate and check function. Rotate, change direction, and check, just like an ant. Ant runs and bumps something into you. It looks around to the side, usually like to the right, it seems like. They look to the right, they do the little perception check, and then they move forward. So they do move forward, and then they keep on moving forward because they still have space, and then they bump into you and they stop the loop. No more while, because it's not happening anymore. They don't have any room. While is now false. And then they rotate another way, and then they do move forward while there's still space, and then oh, there's no more space, no more while, stop moving, and then boom. So you could have like AI pathfinding kind of. We could have like a combo attack or something. So you could be like, let's see, I don't know, or like maybe a barrier. So I am like some mecha robot, and I want to put up a barrier. I'll do, and we need a loop to keep the barrier up, and maybe it's depleting energy as the barrier's up. So once we have enough energy, call this function, and we'll pass in how much energy we have. And if we have enough energy, it will do enable barrier or create barrier, and the barrier needs to continually be created, and each time it does like this little fade animation to like show that it's in existence and it's still good. And then once it doesn't fade, it dies. So we'll do that, and while we have energy, it will maintain barrier, and then it will deplete energy, and then while we still have enough energy, it will do that again. So it will continue looping, maintaining barrier, maintaining barrier, maintaining barrier, until we eventually run out of energy, no more. But then once we have energy again, we do it. Instead of having a check to see if we have enough energy, and then having to set it to be true or passing it something. How about we just fucking pass this function the number of energy and then done. If enough energy, do create barrier while do create barrier while has enough energy. Oh, no more energy. Stop. And then later on we try again. Oh, 0 energy, not enough, doesn't do shit. Do energy, not enough, doesn't do shit. It's an if statement. If enough energy, do this with the loop. Else, do nothing. Or just if that. So didn't have the if. It returned false, or the condition was false. Nothing. Oh, we have enough energy. Do create barrier while while enough energy, while energy is greater than 0. Create barrier, create barrier, create barrier. Oh, no more energy. Stops. Oh, okay. I think that's a good use case for do while. I think that works. 4 statements. Okay, I pause for a little.